What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this episode of English Turks, where I review your favorite Turkish series with and without English subtitles. And today we are going to do a video review of Sen Çal Kapimi episode 20. Well, guys, I just finished actually watching the show. I hope it's episode 20. Please, Lord, let it be episode 20. How do I find this out? Hold on. I'm right, guys. It's episode 20. I had to check because sometimes I get confused and I start thinking things. So I just wanted to talk about the episode, do a video review, see how that goes. So we started off this episode with Eda basically finding out through Celine that, something has occurred with her parents, but she didn't know what it was. And she's trying to get Celine to stay and tell her what it is. But, Celine says, I can't say anything, and just immediately leaves. And so basically, forced Serkan into the position to have to tell Eda what happened. However, it was already his intentions. It just made it look bad because now it looks like he wasn't ever going to tell her, even though he's been trying to all this time. If you listen to my last podcast, I did say that I was annoyed with Eda in the last episode because she did nothing but run away from him when he's fighting so hard to tell her something. And she had no reason to be running away from him, none at all. And she's been begging him all this time to find out what it was. And, when it finally came down to it, he could have been told her if it wasn't for her being so childish about it. Sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. But anyway, she gets upset. She runs over to Alptekin and forces him to tell her whatever the details were. And then she takes the paperwork, leaves, and she tells Serkan, I understand that this is not, it wasn't your fault. You were a child then. But what she was upset with him about was that he kept it from her. Now, here's the thing. When she was arguing with Serkan at the apartment, and then she goes to Alptekin, she's talking to Alptekin, and then she talks again with Serkan again, parts of the things that she was saying, I was like, I do not agree. And other stuff, I was like, I kind of can see where you're coming from. Because, I just don't understand why they put so much of the blame on Alptekin. It is not a weird thing for a company to be so overwhelmed with work that they subcontract things out to other companies. And yes, he subcontracted a company and that person did a horrible job causing the death of her parents. Now, if he wasn't overwhelmed, maybe he could have done the job himself. But he was a young dude trying to grow a company, and he was really trying and he didn't want to lose the job, so he just subcontracted it out. I think, and plus he didn't even know that was Eda. He's been trying to look for Eda all this time, so it's not like he was just letting it go. He hid it from the company itself because he was trying to protect that investment of his, It's not his company's fault. He just subcontracted something and that person did a bad job. So let it be on that company's name, not on his company, even though, I just think it was a bit much, right? And so she ends up leaving and taking the girls, going on some kind of vacation. It wasn't really much of a vacation. I think they just went to the beach or something. And while she was away, Serkan decides to just hide out in his apartment. And once they were done with their vacation, which was probably like 2 days or something like that, she calls Layla and tells Layla to tell Serkan to come to work, and so he ends up coming back to work. She really knows that she has so much authority over this guy, and she keeps saying she's going to change things, but she uses her love for him and his love for her to manipulate everything. So it's not like she's changing. And so she comes up with this bright idea to write a contract, which obviously is just a joke. Seriously, she's like, everything's going to be in my hands. I'm going to, change everything around. It's going to be as I say, but honestly, it's a joke. I'm telling you, every time she goes back to work for this company, she loves, all this proves is that she loves Serkan so much that even with this whole little lie that occurred, she's never going to leave that man. She isn't. And, you know, Serkan's mom is right. If she made you sign this foolish contract, that means that she wants to be in your life. She doesn't want to not be in your life. And so she really wasn't as mad as she still claims, you know, saying that there's going to be punishments. And it was just ridiculous. To me, it was a joke. But I get it. It's cute, so let them be cute. So anyways, she makes him sign the contract, then she goes back to working, and then all of a sudden they get completely engrossed in helping this children education foundation for young girls and stuff. And then Serkan decides to get involved because Ada got involved, and I mean, it's just a whole whirlwind. And yeah, they spent the majority of the day working on that. And in my head, I'm thinking, don't you have stuff to do with FA? I mean, like, you work for FA. But yeah, I just think it was a bit much. And then she leaves the office without doing anything for her actual job. And this whole time, FA's like, I want to talk to you about this client. You're going to help me take care of this client because I'm going back to Italy. And so he says, you know, she agrees. And I think this is the entrance of how the grandmother's going to come in, because obviously he's talking to the grandmother on the phone, and the grandma's like, I guess she's not sure if Ada's going to be willing to talk to her. But mind you, Ada hasn't seen her for a long time, so she might not even recognize her. Who knows? But at least it doesn't look like FA was just trying to throw someone on her. FA's literally like, let me explain to you about this client. Like, this is your job. You work for FA. But she just keeps leaving and leaving and leaving and never giving him a chance to say anything. I don't know. But I think maybe the next day they have the conversation, because they don't really show the work day for the next day. So what happens is she leaves the office. When she walked out of the office, the paparazzi was waiting for her to say that Serkan cheated, and she ends up fainting. And that's how she ended up in Serkan's car. And then she ends up going to her aunt's shop, and Serkan ends up giving her a ride, taking her there, following her there, because she ends up meeting with the guy that caused the accident on the home. And he seems so remorseful. I think maybe it was ignorance, maybe it was, hey, this big company has asked for our help, let's do the job, let's get the job done, and probably rush through it, use poor materials, and then the accident happened. Now, yes, it is devastating because 2 lives were lost, but the way that guy's face looked, he really looked like he was sorry for what had happened. So yeah, she deals with that, and then Serkan leaves. She ends up going home, and then Serkan tries to trick her into going on a walk with him and Sirius, but she ends up not doing it. Go Ada, finally. Stand for something, girl. Stand for something, because as much as she gives in to Serkan, it's like he can do anything. He even said it to her while they were working in the office, like, what happens if I just purposely not follow the contract and break all the rules? She was literally flirting with him in that moment. Like, she can't help herself. She loves him too much, and the contract is just giving a valid reason for her to be there and justify not being mad with him like she claims she is, because she isn't really. And so the next day, you know, they leave the office, and then he again drives her to the whole fundraiser place, and she gives a speech, and he loves the speech. But one thing she said in the speech was like, don't be afraid to make mistakes. And he's like, I hope you really stand by that, which I agree, Serkan. I agree. I hope he stands by that. And I'm sorry, I thought I heard something. But yeah, so then Serkan's mom, her little scheme was, let me trick the situation by not actually hiring any models, pretending to be in a jam, and then forcing the girls to walk in the fashion show. So everything she did for this fundraiser, a lot of it was like last minute, because she didn't ask the guys prior to if they would be auctioned off to have dinner with someone. Instead, she did it last minute so that they wouldn't have a choice. And again, Ada, even though she tried to say she wants to keep a professional relationship with him, she used his love for her and her love for him to make him agree to being auctioned off. And then all the guys had to agree because Serkan agreed. I mean, FA was already on board with it, but the rest of them weren't. But because Serkan was doing it, then it just didn't leave anybody else a choice. They all ended up having to do it. And so I don't know why she's saying that she wants to have a professional relationship with him, because that is just absolutely not the case. It never happens that way. And all throughout this time, they're like passing her engagement ring back and forth, because, you know, he wants her to keep it, but then she doesn't want it. It's kind of weird. And the whole time that they're at this fundraiser, Celine is listening to everything that they're saying. So she overhears Serkan inviting Ada to go eat with him at this restaurant and hoping that she shows up, which she did show up. But because Celine interfered in that, she ended up sending Ada to another restaurant, which it's weird because Ada went to this other restaurant, but he said he was going to be waiting for her at the restaurant. So why would she go to a restaurant, get a table, and not see him there? Like, don't you think Serkan would make reservations? He's not going to go there like willy-nilly. He knew the name of the restaurant. And the fact that neither of them are calling each other is another weird thing. I think Ada needs to call Serkan because she's the one meeting him there. But maybe she wants it to be a surprise or something. I don't know. Serkan wouldn't be calling her because, you know, he's waiting to see what decision she's gonna make, and so it wouldn't make sense for him to call her. But she should definitely call him. But honestly, guys, the episode left off that way, but I promise you it's not gonna be that big a deal. I promise you. I could just count it on my finger. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Now, as for Ferit and Jeden, girl, this is going to be my new favorite couple. I really hope something happens between them. And so far, his mom really likes her, and he's starting to realize that he really likes her, and he's doing a lot of things for her, like asking her to come to the fundraiser. She says no. And then while she was walking in the fashion show, which I think she was the prettiest one in that fashion show, he was like staring her down, and he told his mom he doesn't know how he let her get away, and it's just crazy. And you could just tell right now that Celine is gonna be the new nemesis. She was already the nemesis, but she wasn't the bad nemesis, because Mello liked her, everyone's defending her, but now it's kind of like in the open. I mean, Serkan literally told her, I want nothing to do with you, and she completely was like, if I'm not happy, Serkan can't be happy. And I'm like, rule of thumb, ladies, if a man don't want you, move on. Do not embarrass yourself by sticking to that. I have a person that I know personally that did that. You know, they just kept sticking to their ex, so much so, and it's been years, and they're still just living under the shadow of this person not wanting them and them wanting to be with that person. Honestly, it's really sad. Really sad. Don't do that to yourself, which is what Celine is currently doing to herself. And Peter is starting to see it, and Mello sees it, and everyone's just starting to notice what's going on. So it's a little depressing on that end of the bargain. But we'll see what happens in the next episode, okay? Erdem, God bless his soul. He is, you know, fake engaged to Layla, and Layla, I don't know why she's going with it, but she's a good friend, I guess. And, you know, but he still wants Fifi, and Fifi was looking gorgeous too, girl. Fifi was killing it this whole episode with her outfits and helping the aunt and everything. So we'll see. I think really soon, maybe Fa is going to leave in this episode, or maybe we'll see him in the next, but really soon the grandma's going to be showing up soon. But anyway, that was my thoughts on this episode. Let me know what you girls think, what you guys think, if there are any guys, because I think I have 100% girls watching this, because we love comedies. I'm sure there's guys out there watching it too, probably with their wives. But anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to click that like button, and if you enjoy the videos, click that beautiful red button below, which is the subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.